As you may already know, I recently added 2 new bags to my collection, and they're both from Parisa Wang, the Grace and the Madison Micro. So today I want to give you a detailed review like I always do. I'm gonna talk about the pluses, the minuses, what fits inside, styling ideas, and then of course the size comparison. And because I also already own the Madison in the medium size, at the end I can show you that comparison as well. But first I want to give you some special discount codes because this video is in a collaboration with Parisa Wang, which I'm so grateful for. And currently they have a special moving sale, which means that if you use code KIM, you will not only get 12% off, but also a special gift with your order. But this is for a limited time with limited quantities, so I will put all of the important info in the description down below so you can have a look. But then of course, after the promotion is over, you can still use my code KIM for 12% off. But now that you have all of the important details, now of course we can continue with the review. I'm gonna start with the Grace, which is the new model to my collection. But first I also wanted to mention that you get the bags in this nice little tote bag, and something that I missed last time that I was doing the review, you can also close the tote bag if you want to. So I think this is pretty cool. But now, very importantly, to the bag. Here we go! You kind of seen the bag already, but I think these bags are so gorgeous. They always deserve a nice entrance. So first, let me walk you through the design of this bag so you can know what you get. As you can see, this is a flap cover bag, so everything is nice and protected. Then we have the top handle, which is not removable. But you also have crossbody straps that are removable, so you can really utilize this bag in many different ways. Then at the back we have a little pocket with a magnet, and I love the magnet because it's really nice and strong. And then we have a nice little logo at the back. We have the nice little feet at the bottom, which I always appreciate. For the hardware, we have this very signature Parisa Wang design. But with this one, you cannot really take it apart because I'm going to show you with the Madison, you can kind of customize it, but this one is fixed. So this is what you get. And then we also have a little clasp that you have to open with your hands. And this is how it looks inside. There is one pocket at the back, and then everything else is nice and spacious. This is the bag in a nutshell, but now let me tell you why I absolutely adore this bag, aka the pluses. The first obvious reason is the quality. I wouldn't be recommending bags I don't believe in, and these bags in person, you can see the attention to detail, you can see the nice quality leather, and fun fact, their bags are actually made in the same factories as Rowe and Saint Laurent and Prada and similar. But then more specific to this bag, I really like the size of this bag because it's kind of petite, it's really cute, it's really nice, but it's also spacious at the same time. And when I'm gonna show you what fits inside, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. And then when it comes to the design, the reason I picked this one is because I feel it's really classic and timeless. And I can see myself wearing this one for a really long time. And then also I think it's a perfect hybrid between everyday bag and then also an evening bag. To wear it throughout the day, I'm just gonna use the crossbody strap, but then I can of course just remove the crossbody straps and I can also wear it as an evening bag, which I think it's absolutely amazing. As I've said, a really versatile bag. And then the main reason why I picked this one, which is very personal to me, but it's the silver hardware. I don't know about you, but I like both the gold hardware and also silver hardware. And because my collection, handbag collection, had mostly gold items, I wanted to have something a little bit statementy with silver hardware as well. And I think this one is absolutely amazing. I love the silver hardware so much. And also I'm curious because I know most brands out there, they only do gold hardware. So I want to know, what kind of girly are you? Are you silver only, gold only, or like me, you like to have some silver and some gold? I think this will be really nice to know because I know Parisa Wang, they actually really listen to their customers and they design the bags in a way so they really resonate with their style and lifestyle. So if you like the silver bags, leave me a comment down below because I'm really curious how many of us are out there, and maybe in the future we can have more options. Currently on their website you have this one with silver hardware, and then I've also seen the Madison large top handle bag, also black and silver, which I think is amazing. But if we could get more colors, I think that would be brilliant. And now to the minuses, or I should say a minus, because there is only one downside with this bag, and it's actually the clasp at the front, which I'm gonna open so you can see. But pretty much there is this tiny opening that we have to perfectly align in order to close the bag, which in itself, it's not really an issue. But if your hands are full and you're running loads of errands, sometimes this is not the most practical. But on the plus side, the more I wore this bag, the more I got the hang of it, how to properly close it. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, and now I know how to even close it with one hand only. But I still wish they would make this clasp just a little bit easier to close, maybe a magnet, something like that. But I understand the upside of this clasp is that it's really, really secure. So even if you have the bag, it's not gonna open right away, which with a magnet that might possibly happen, but with this one, it's really, really secure. And then I also wanna mention, because this is something I talked about with the Madison bag, if you remember, this loop was kind of sliding up and down and it was not really secure. With a Grace bag, this one is actually really, really secure, and yeah, no issues here. This is how I wish the Madison bags were actually. But now I also want to quickly compare it to my other bag, and this one is called the Madison Micro. And because I already done the in-depth review about the Madison, I'm gonna keep it very short and sweet. But first I just wanted to show you how they look side by side. As you can see, they're really comparable in the size from the front. Then from the side, the Grace is just a little bit thinner than the Madison. Then this is how they both look from the bottom, and this is how they look from the back. This one has the pocket, but this one doesn't have anything. And then when it comes to the design, as I've said, the Madison feels a little bit more casual and the Grace feels a little bit more polished. But honestly, for me, these are again both appropriate for every day and the evening, and that's how I'm gonna wear them. And lastly, of course, I wanna show you how they both look on my frame. For reference, I'm 164 centimeters tall, which is 5'5", and you can see they both look really nice and petite, but they're also spacious, as I've said before. And then I also quickly wanna talk about the taupe color, because this one is so popular on Parisa Wang, and I know the screens are not always accurate, so I wanna give you some color comparisons in case you want this color. For reference, this one is the wool rust texture, I think it's called. But then you also have, you will see on Parisa Wang, you have many different options of leathers, and sometimes different leathers are gonna give you a different tone. And I quickly wanted to show you the two taupe colors in different leathers so you can see the difference. This one, as I've said, is the wool rust texture, and this one is the classic pebbled leather. The lighter one is of course a little bit lighter and also a little bit more neutral and a little bit more cool toned. And then the pebbled leather, it's a little bit darker, a little bit deeper, and also a little bit warmer. And if this is not enough, I also want to compare it to my other kind of camel beige shade so you can see the difference. First, I have this backpack that it's a true camel shade, and you can see how the bags look next to it. They're both a little bit more cool toned and a little bit more neutral. And next, if you're familiar with Valentino powder color, I want to show you another comparison so you can see that they're both again a lot more neutral. And then I also wanted to show you the bags next to my camel scarf so you can easily see how you can style them this way and how gorgeous it looks. And lastly, just for fun, I wanted to show you how they look next to my light gray scarf in a stone color so you can really see the warmth and the depth. And now lastly, I think I can also show you the size comparison to the Madison medium. As you can see, this one is quite bigger. Especially, I mean, from the side it's kind of similar, but from the front it's really big. From the back you can see, and then you can also see the size at the bottom. So this is how they look next to each other, but again, I'm gonna put them on my body so you can really see the difference in how they look on my frame. The medium one, it's kind of a little bit bigger on me because I'm not that tall, but I mean, it still works, I still love it, but yeah, I just wanted to show you how they look. So I hope all of these comparisons were helpful, and if you have any questions about any of the bags, leave me a comment down below. And also, if you're enjoying the review, of course, give this video a thumbs up. But now, as I've said, let me show you what fits inside. As I always like to do, I'm gonna start with my essentials. Of course, I have my wallet, my phone, the pouch with all of my essentials, disinfecting hand wipes, home keys, car keys, a small little hand cream, a lip balm, and just a tiny little mirror. And as you can see, they fit perfectly, and we still have some room at the top. So I think this space would be perfect for my sunglasses, and I'm just gonna put them in the case. And then I still have some room for maybe just a little sponge for blotting, and then maybe the SPF stick. I think this would be the scenario number one. I would have to rummage through the bag just a little bit to get through everything, but as you can see, it's still spacious. And also what I love about this bag is that if you want to have your phone a little bit more accessible, you can put it in the back pocket. I just put mine at the back. You can see the outline, and we have a little magnet. So this, I think it's perfect because you don't have to really rummage through the bag every time you want to take out your phone. But yeah, this is the scenario number one, and I also want to compare this to the Madison Micro. So I'm just gonna put everything that I have in there into here so you can see the size comparison. These are the essentials, and then as I did before, we can have the glasses, the SPF stick, and then also the blotting paper, which again, everything fits inside perfectly. I would say the size, it's really comparable, and maybe this one is just a tiny bit larger because this one feels a little bit more stuffed comparing to this one. But now I can of course show you some more scenarios with the Grace bag. Again, the essentials are going in first. If you're like me and you like to vlog, I want to show you that the vlogging camera fits inside perfectly without any issues. And then I can of course easily close the bag. But then I also want to test the bag a little bit more, and I want to try the tripod. It feels just a little bit, no, I cannot really close it. Okay, so this is a little bit too much, but maybe I can put the charger in here. I know I'm really pushing it. I can definitely close it. It's a little bit bulky, but again, if I want to not rummage through my entire bag, I can just put the phone at the back. And I'm trying to think if there are any more scenarios I could show you. Maybe we can add a little bit more makeup in here just for fun. Something like a concealer, an extra lipstick, the SPF stick, the little blotting paper, and maybe even a small little hairbrush. As you can see, everything fits inside, and it's very easy to close. And of course I have the phone at the back, as I've mentioned before. And I just remembered I forgot to do the Kindle test, so let's do it now. As you see, there is more than enough space for the Kindle. There it is at the back. And these are all of the essentials. And now if you want to learn even more about Parisa Wang bags and also the Madison Micro and the medium size comparison, what fits inside, all of the good stuff, I will link another video here so you can watch it next. This is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.